district across Anne Arundel and Prince George's counties in the state of Maryland to grow opposition to the building of the SCMaglev. The LSIA represents over 2,000 households, and we stand with our neighbors to oppose the SCMaglev. We are joined this evening by several incumbents and candidates who have taken time from their busy schedules to be here tonight as our guests. We also want to acknowledge representatives and members from several AA and PG County organizations with us tonight. Again, we appreciate all of you taking your time to be here tonight, especially with the Ravens game. Welcome all. It is now my pleasure to introduce my Vice President of the LSIA, Jan Grover, who will lay out the rules for governing tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Susie. This meeting is about the SCMaglev. No other issues or questions will be answered. We have a very short time to get through an agenda of items with this meeting. We're going to start, this is going to start us off with some information sharing, and then as we get through the meeting, we're going to go into a question and answer session. We have many incumbents and candidates attending tonight to answer questions. They are our guests, and we expect them to be treated as such. Be respectful of each other, or you will be asked to leave. One person speak at a time. Keep it short and to the point, or we'll cut you off. This is not the place or time to pontificate. We want to thank Lieutenant Frazier and the officers of AA County Police for being here tonight to make sure that things go well. It is now my pleasure and my honor to introduce the chair of the Citizens Against the SCMaglev, who will be leading this meeting. Mr. Dennis Frazier.
Thank you, Dan. Susie, I appreciate that. Can everyone hear me all right?
Pardon me for walking in front of him. Get your arms over here.
You see that man pass by? No. Can you hear me now?
No.
No?
The mic's not working.
Not the lights.
It's nothing back here, Kevin. It's up here.
It's the microphone.
1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear it? Now. My name is Dennis Brady. To give you a little bit of my background, I'm the chair of the group that is opposed to the Maglev. We formed a year ago. Prior to that, I spent 22 years at Bowie City Council. I spent 30 years in the federal government, 12 in the Navy submarine service, and the rest of it with National Institute of Standard Technology as an electrical engineer at the nuclear reactor they have in Cambridge. CATS formed in May of last year after the founding members, Lori Thompson and Eva Novisky, attended the first open house on the Maglev project in the Bowie area. And they were struck with the 6 routes, 4 of which came through Bowie, 3 of them really devastated Bowie. But what really troubled them was the fact that only 16 to 18 people attended one of the 5 open houses. And they began researching it and discovered that there was almost no notification of anyone outside of Baltimore, near where their terminal will be, or Washington, D.C., where the other terminal will be. There was no notification of the public in between that would be impacted by this project. It's interesting to note that this all started, I think, 2014 when the Northeast Maglev and BWRR, Baltimore Washington Rapid Rail, went to the Public Service Commission to get the old WBNA franchise license. they noted how no one from the public had weighed in on their application and their request. And they were surprised that no competing interests were trying for this license. So this has been going on for many years outside of public purview, and that troubled the two women who started this that order. We formed, and last October, the second round of open houses at Bowie State, they had over 800 people. Remember I said in April there were 16 to 18, and over 800, and we attribute that spike in the attendance to our efforts, not NPA and not proponents. The other two meetings, the one at Laurel High School and the one at Rundle High School, had 500, maybe 700 people show up. So it is through the activism of our group that word has gotten out. We don't disagree that there's a need to address transportation, especially long-distance rail transportation, but we believe this is the wrong way to do it. This facility, few people will really benefit from it. You're talking about stops between Baltimore and Washington with one at the airport. And then later they want to go to New York City. So the stop at Wilmington, Philadelphia Airport, Newark Airport, and New York City. So it really is not going to be anything that will ease congestion, will help getting people to and from their work, their residences, what have you. But it will be a consumer of available dollars. Now, and it's interesting, they will talk about how all of this is going to be privately financed. The tickets are going to pay for the maintenance and operation of the facility. That's what they say publicly. And then they talk about how no project like this can be 100% private. It's got to be a public-private. Public means tax dollars. Okay. I thought Danny thought I was missing something. So we believe there's a better way to spend the dollars to solve our congestion problems than this. That's the bottom line of what we're looking at. We believe Amtrak can be improved. We believe that this will not provide many jobs. And we believe that it's been deceptive in how it's been presented, as well as how there's been a lack of transparency with NPA. You ask questions, they tell us, they told the state legislature that there's a mailing list and they send out periodic updates and what have you to people who subscribe to it. Well, I've subscribed to two. I've subscribed to it and I've gotten two in over a year. So we have a problem with the lack of transparency, lack of information. We ask questions, we don't get responses. So we have grave concerns that this is being driven more as a development of a available, they're trying to create a market for Japanese product and Japanese technology. So that we have been working with our state legislators to oppose it. We believe there's better ways to solve our problems, our transportation problems. And we believe that it would be better to put dollars, available dollars, into existing infrastructure to improve it, to handle it. In the agenda I was given, I need to point out a couple of things. Bill Boone is in the back. He is our GIS guy. He's the one that...
Waving in the back.
Oh, okay. Danny, the handsome gentleman back there, he is our GIS guru. He's the one that's been able to take and identify properties that are along the routes. We started out with 6 routes, we're down to 2, and we are looking forward to the alternatives report due out at the end of December or the beginning of January. And it is our understanding and our belief that that determination will feed into the EIS study that will then be undertaken to determine what impacts that the proposal will have on environment, on communities, financial aspect, safety aspect, those kinds of things. It was due out in August, then in September, actually due out early this year. We now understand, we were told 2 weeks ago that it would be the end of December, beginning of January, which happened to be during the holiday season. Again, goes to the transparency issue. That will feed into the EIS, which I expect they'll probably finish that come the draft EIS later next summer. So we're looking at this going to Federal Railroad. They're the ones that will have to make the decision. They're the ones that will record the record of decision on whether to go forward or not. Probably the end of next calendar year or early 2020. Bill also is the one that is in the back that has the stop the train signs for sale for a donation of $5. He can also pull up and identify your property as to whether it is or is not along the route. As I said, the EIS is a major study that is required in any federally funded projects, and it's significant in this case because of the expected cost. They say it's going to be $10 to $12 billion. Some have looked at it and concluded that it's probably going to be closer to $30 billion to go from Baltimore to Washington. As I said, that'll look at the environment, it'll look at the economics of it, it'll look at the impact on communities, so that it is, while they have to do the study can come out and say it's not a good thing to do, and they can still make a decision to move forward on it. I guess we're going to have questions, right? And you're going to introduce the elected officials. So I think more information can come out through the course of the meeting. So we're going to
Okay.
Just 1 second. Mr. Henley, who is the project, what's your exact title, Mr. Henley?
Project Director.
Project Director for Baltimore, Washington Rapid Rail, right?
Correct.
And you have, who are your 2 guests?
Mike Crawford, Matt Bishop.
They are with the proponent, so let's be nice to them. We don't agree with them, but let's be nice to them. Welcome to this, and thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Dan.
So that I will turn the mic to you and then this will
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome.
We've reached out to a number of candidates and incumbents. A number of them have graciously joined us tonight. But first, before we introduce them, I wanted to read 2 letters that I've received from 2 individuals who can't be with us tonight. One is from Senator DeGrange. His letter goes, his stance on the SCMaglev. Dear Mr. Warmer and members of the Linthicum Shipley Improvement Association, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your recent email and for your invitation to the Citizens Against Maglev Train Steering Committee meeting. Unfortunately, I have another commitment, can't make it. Dating back to the early 2000s, I've been opposed to the projected SCMaglev. At the origination of the project, I offered successful budget language restricting the use of state funds for the design construction of such an endeavor. Unfortunately, that language later ruled unconstitutional, but know that I remain, as I always have been, in opposition to the project. I have grave concerns regarding cost, accessibility, community destruction that the SCMaglev would cause to our communities, and I'm hopeful that Governor Hogan and/or the next gubernatorial administration will cease state involvement and cooperation with the project. I think it's pretty clear. He's opposed to it. From Governor Hogan's office. Your request for my attendance at the Lindale Middle School for September 13 has been received, and the governor will not be able to make it due to ongoing national environmental policies NEPA study. provide you with an update on the study. MDOT's role is solely to oversee the NEPA process along with the Federal Railroad Administration and administer the grant funding. The Baltimore-Washington Rapid Rail is a private company proposing the system itself. There is no state funding of the Maglev project. We are currently working on the NEPA alternatives report, which we hope to finalize this fall, and next year we will publish the draft environmental impact statement. The draft impact statement will identify the preferred alternative. The alternatives report will provide more detail on the remaining two alternatives, the ancillary facilities like the maintenance facility, and the potential station locations. The no-build option is also being carried forward, which is a requirement of FOTO. So with us tonight, again, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, is Patty Ewing. She's running for delegate in District 32. Pam Bible, who is currently a delegate for District 32 and running for Senate. Please, when I say name, you want to stand so you can let people know who you are. Okay, Patty Ewing. Okay, Pam Bible. Heather Campbell is here representing Senator Ben Cardin. John Grasso is here. He is also running for the Senate. Mark Bailey. Okay.
Mark
is here. He's running for District 32 delegate. Sandy Bartlett, also running for District 32 delegate. Brigelle Smith for Congressman Sarbanes. Did I say that correctly? Bridget, I'm sorry. Okay, these are new classes. David Lasher, who is running for District 3, okay, as a candidate. Welcome all for being here. And then I say your shift. At this point, what I'd like to do is give you each a chance, if you'd like, to stand, take a few minutes, and kind of state your position on if you're in support of building the SCMaglev, opposed to it, or if you're at this current time kind of undecided. So you have to figure out which one to do. Okay.
And I'm going to give you 20 minutes.
Okay. Patty?
That might work a
Julie?
little better than the other.
Well, I'll tell you what, does this work better? Yes. Okay.
Well, you need to hear this.
Okay. So Patty was the first one to sign up, so she gets to kick it off.
I am Patty Ewing, and I'm running for state delegate here in District 32. And because I've talked to so many people, and when I've read and what I've heard so far about the Maglev, I am opposed to it. I hear a lot of people dismayed, not only thinking there will be disruption, but destruction in the communities, and we see very little value coming from it. But I do see some investors getting very wealthy. So from what I've seen and heard so far, just as a candidate, I would be extremely opposed to the Maglev. It goes from the top of District 32 to clear the bottom, right through all of our neighborhoods. So that's my position.
Thank you all. Good evening, everyone that's here. Actually, I've been fighting this project since 2004. That's when we first learned a different developer wanted to bring Maglev through Lincoln, and as Senator Brady, what did you So as Senator Brady said, we managed to stop it in state budget language because there was state money. Now this is federal money, so it's no longer a state decision other than your government. So if anybody can stop the federal government from investing in this project, it's your government. He rode the train in Japan, loved it, and really requested federal money to investigate it. But I will assure you that we have done everything we can to fight this project because I live right down the street. I sit here and think, we've got the airport, we've got 295, we've got the light rail, we've got 695. I don't think we need any more traffic or any more transportation project. Thank you.
And Heather Healy, representing Senator St. Martin.
All right, so I am reading a statement that Senator Hurd asked me to present to everyone this evening. Unfortunately, he was unable to join us, but he was at the Shipley Group Association Candidates Forum last evening, if you weren't able to see him there. The statement reads, as the ranking Democrat of the Transportation and Infrastructure Subcommittee of the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee, I am a strong advocate for modern transportation improvements. The Baltimore-Washington corridor is one of the worst congested areas in our nation. We need better roads and transit in our region. Any proposed transportation project must have the effective input from the communities without the process. This is particularly true of a large-scale, high-speed transportation project such as Maglev and Liverpool. In 2005, Congress authorized $50 million for Maglev transportation projects and preliminary feasibility studies. In 2015, the Federal Railroad Administration, responding to a request from the state of Maryland, awarded a $27.8 million grant to the state of Maryland for environmental impact analyses and community outreach. There have been no requests by the state of Maryland for federal funding for construction. The decision on any transportation project such as Maglev must first be made by the state. If the state of Maryland wishes to make such a request, I would carefully review the financial feasibility and the impacts on the community. As I have previously stated, it is critical to advancing any such project for it to make sense financially and for it to have community support.
Thank you very much. Mr. Brown?
Just tell me.
There we go. I think it's coming back on.
Yeah.
No, there it is. Mr. Brown?
Normally, I lead one of these events because that's one of the gifts I've got. I think that. But it was using my phone. Everybody knows this is an election year, right? We're all on the same page here, and everybody's going to come out here and tell you what you want to hear, so you can check in the box, right? But I'm going to tell you the facts. You look at my voting record and everything I've done in the county council for the last 7 years, and it's always what the people want. I take my personal opinion out of things, and if you tell me it's no, it's no. I don't question it. If you tell me it's yes, it's yes. And if you tell me you don't care, it's I don't care. So the way that works is very simple. The way I do it in the county council is I put the good old tennis shoes on, and I go around and I ask you and say, what do you want me to do? Yes, no, if you don't care, and I count the box. Check the boxes. It's just that simple. So if you're telling me that you don't want it, when I come around door to door, as I'm already doing, it's a simple no. You tell me you want it, it's a simple yes. The majority of it is committed. So there's no misunderstanding that I feel a certain way, I will do whatever you want me to do, but you got to tell me what you want. And that's pretty much all I have. Thank you.
Mark Bailey?
Thank you. This is the first chance I've actually had to speak at an event where I wasn't a funeral. I'm Bailey Funeral in Baltimore, Washington. Some people I've seen here serve before. Service is important. I'm currently serving in the Maryland Army National Guard in Major. I serve on the governor's board for the Maryland State Board of Morticians and Funeral Directors. Service is extremely important. Ensuring that I weigh all the options before any decisions are made is what's in the best interest of everyone here. I'm finishing my doctorate in education. It's important for me to represent you as the people. And I'm going to go through a few things you probably already heard, but I want to make sure we're clear. I'm running for state delegate in District 32. My email is electmarkbailey@gmail.com. The reason why I give you that is because I like to written document so that we can move forward. When somebody sends me something, I want to make sure their voice is heard. There's no way of me deleting it. I don't do that. I have integrity. That's something that's been instilled in me for a very long time. I served in the Maryland State Police, Training Club and Barracks, serving the very community that you all live in. I'm opposed to the Maglev. I'm very much opposed. And there's many reasons why. I think this is important as to why I oppose the maglev. First of all, environmental concerns. There's too many. There's too much at risk, and your lives mean more to me than getting somewhere 11 minutes faster. Cost, $10 to $12 billion. That's projected. When they did a study back in 2008, 2009, they looked at that study, and that study was between $3 and $4 billion, with an estimated expenditure every year running that system by $60 million. Now that was many years ago. So we can inflate those costs. You're looking at about $200 million to operate. That to me is a significant concern. The cost of the travel itself will be unaffordable. We're already looking at costs for people just to run a normal rail system, $12 to $47. So what's the cost going to be? Are we going to be subsidizing yet another project? Funding to subsidize. Again, another significant issue. There's no significant benefits to Anne Arundel County. What's the benefits? How do we as people benefit from a rail system like that? Doesn't. Eminent domain. Sure, we're going to take your land, we'll take your property. How many people do you think are going to be affected? Approximately 300, roughly. We don't know until the impact study is fully completed. You've already heard the facts, I'll just reiterate it, because I want you to understand, I fully am aware of what's going on with this project. Facts, starting in 2008, 2009, we already know that was a projected $3 to $4 billion. Now we're looking at 10 to 12 billion. Cost, too much. Jobs, they preach jobs, we would create 7,500 jobs, but those jobs would last for 7 to 10 years, then they're gone. Federal rail system is saying that it would create maybe about 1,500 jobs. It's not a substantial amount. We already have the Amtrak system. There was a grant of $28 million that's been advanced by the federal government for a study, according to one of the articles I read. Is that correct? 27.8, somewhere in there. So anyway, we're looking at 28. So who wants the maglev? I can tell you who wants it. Of course, the Japanese government, right? They would benefit from this because then they get to put this out in our community where it's going to affect you all. Who else? With all due respect to the gentlemen that are sitting in the back, I work against the maglev group. I understand they're developers. They want to make improvements. They want to make advancements. We're all here for that. That's why we're in America. We had, if you look at 2014, you had Pep Planning, Tom Dashiell, pardon me if I say that wrong, 3 former governors, and it was reported that at that time there was $40 million invested to look at that study. And that was an article that was written by the governor's son, 9/27/2014. Federal government, you already heard that, $27 million in private ownership. Those are the folks that have an interest. I'm going to tell you why I oppose it. Mr. Brasso was highlighting one of the important things. You all, we, us, the community, the people that live here, we don't support it. We don't support something, why are we moving forward with it? There's no benefit to us. So here's what I came up with. This is the reason why we have opposition. First of all, the residents handle the county opposing. That's the most important thing. Second, we have Amtrak that offers 36 rail trips per day from Baltimore to Washington and 730 rail trips per month. Still at reduced costs. The cost to operate. Right now, they're only projected $60 million. That's going to be inflated. And then we're going to end up having to subsidize it just like we do the light rail. It'll affect 375 homes. That's significant. That's your kids, grandkids, that's your futures. There's people who've been living there for a number of years. Service is important. Currently serving the Maryland Army National Guard in Major. Serving above the board for the Maryland State Board of Morticians and Funeral Directors. Service is extremely important. Ensuring that I weigh out all the options before any decisions are made is what's in the best interest of everyone here. I'm finishing my doctorate in education. It's important for me to represent you as a people. And I'm going to go through a few things you probably already heard, but I want to make sure we're clear. I'm running for state delegate District 32. My email is electmarkbailey@gmail.com. The reason why I give you that is because I want to have a written document so that we can move forward. When somebody sends me something, I want to make sure their voice is heard. There's no way of manipulating it. I don't do that. I have integrity. That's something that's been instilled in me for a very long time. I served in Maryland State Police, training for America, serving the very community that you all live in. I'm opposed to the magnet. I'm very much opposed. And there's many reasons why. I think this is important as to why I oppose the magnet. First of all, environmental concerns. There's too many. There's too much at risk, and your lives will be more than me than getting somewhere 11 minutes faster. Cost, $10 to $12 billion. That's projected. When they did a study back in 2008, 2009, they looked at that study, and that study was between $3 and $4 billion, with an estimated expenditure every year running that system by $60 million. Well, that was many years ago. So we can inflate those costs and look at about $200 million to operate. That to me is a significant concern. The cost of the travel itself will be unaffordable. We're already looking at costs for people just to run a normal rail system, $12 to $47. So what's the cost going to be? Are we going to be subsidizing yet another project? Funding to subsidize. Again, another significant issue. There's no significant benefits to Anne Arundel County. What's the benefits? How do we as a people benefit from a rail system like that? Doesn't. Eminent domain. Sure, we're going to take your land, we'll take your property. How many people do you think are going to be affected? Approximately 300, roughly. We don't know until the impact study is fully completed. You've already heard the facts. I'll just reiterate it because I want you to understand. I fully am aware of what's going on with this project. Facts. Study 2008, 2009. We already know that was a projected $3 to $4 billion. Now we're looking at 10 to 12 billion. Cost. Too much. Jobs. We preach jobs. We wouldn't create 7,500 jobs, but those jobs will last for 7 to 10 years. Then they're gone. Federal rail system saying that it would create maybe about 1,500 jobs. It's not a substantial amount. We already have the Amtrak system. There was a grant of $28 million that's been advanced by the federal government for a study, according to one of the articles I read. I hear it differently. Is that correct? 27.8, somewhere in there. So anyway, we're looking at 28. So who wants a maglev? I can tell you who wants it. Of course, the Japanese government, right? They would benefit from this because then they get to put this out to our community where it's going to affect you all. Who else? With all due respect to the gentleman there sitting back, and one of these maglev. I understand they're developers. They want to make improvements. They want to make advances. We're all here for that. That's why we live in America. We've had, if you look at in 2014, you had Kevin Plank, Tom DeShiel, Dasher, pardon me if I say that wrong, 3 former governors, and it was reported that at that time there was $40 million invested to look at that study. And that was an article that was written by the Baltimore Sun, 9/27/2014. Federal government, we already heard that, $27 million. Private ownership. Those are the folks that have interest. I'm going to tell you why I oppose it. Mr. Grasso's highlighted one of the important things. You all, us, the community, the people that live here, we don't support it. We don't support something, why are we moving forward with it? There's no benefit to us. So here's what I came up with. This is the reason why we have opposition. First off, the residents of Anne Arundel County oppose it. That's the most important thing. Second, we have an Amtrak that offers 36 rail trips per day from Baltimore to Washington and 738 rail trips per month. Still at a reduced cost. The cost to operate. Right now, we're looking at projected $60 billion. That's going to continue to inflate. And then we're going to end up having to subsidize it just like we did like that. It'll affect 375 homes. That's significant. That's your kids, grandkids, that's your futures, that's people who've been living there for a number of years. It's important to me. It doesn't improve the quality of life. It doesn't. It doesn't help the economy. In fact, it creates further burdens. The cost of consumers will be unaffordable. In fact, patients do not pay for light rail, as we see. We've read articles about Balaton's other system. This will create a negative tax burden on all of us. While the advantages of the maglev train system may seem quite promising themselves, they are not enough to overshadow the biggest problem, which is the maglev train, the high cost incurred in the initial setup. While the fast conventional trains that have been introduced lately work just fine. They can use some improvement, that's something we can work on. Impact. Although the tracks could be elevated, there would be still an additional number of bridges and infrastructures to make that improvement. So as you heard, we listened to, another $30 billion. I remember a project, anybody ever done a project at your house? You always say, hey, you know what, I'm only going to spend $1,000, and then you get there, and you need a new door. The door needs to be quickly. The suites, now you need new hinges, now you need a new doorknob. That $1,000 project, now it's only $2,000. So again, not something we want. Energy consumption. I've heard that it's going to better the energy consumption. Larger train cars are tougher to levitate and require quite a bit more energy, actually making them less efficient. Safety. I will give them credit on the safety. There is safety there. In fact, one train crash that I did in 2008 which happened in Germany, that was an error to the operator. But again, I don't see the value in the overall. So I'll leave you with this. The big truth about high-speed rail transportation system is that it is fast, but it comes with a cost. Maintaining safety comes at a price that cannot be eliminated or ignored. Although it may seem desirable to build a system at the lowest possible capital cost, the officials should always keep in mind that there are no financial shortcuts for public safety. The majority of people in the U.S. do not understand the pros and cons of high-speed train systems. And I think this is my most important thing. I'm running as your state delegate for District 32. I stand before you tonight because I believe the message I'm giving you. And this is my final statement. It is the responsibility of the government officials whom the people trust to make transportation policy decisions in the U.S. considering the pros and cons. If you like what I heard, then I ask for your vote come November. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for everybody being here this evening. Thank you to citizens of SCMaglev for all the work that they've done. From the very beginning, I've stood with the citizens against maglev in opposing this project. Whether it was community meetings up here in the northern part of Marion County, or the western part of Laurel, or down in Annapolis, the Lawyers Law, we stood together to oppose this project. 2015, after Governor Hogan was first elected, the very first trip he took was Pacific Rim. And because of that trip, is the reason why we are here right now. Because the governor thought it was a great idea. He had to sign off for this process to take place. 2017, President Trump gets elected. Who's the very first foreign leader that he meets with? Prime Minister Abe, Prime Minister of Japan. There's a full board president lobby that's been going on to be able to get this project here. And so it's important to realize why we're here. And what decision makers put us in this situation. Like I say, as a state legislator, that I oppose it and will continue to oppose it. Specifically to, in the last legislative session, both Delegate Biden and myself, we co-sponsored legislation to thwart this project from occurring. And we'll continue to work on measures with the community to address it. Various environmental concerns and risks that are associated with this, from the depth of where we go in the communities, to the wells in our area, to the colonial pipeline that could possibly at risk with this project. There's other environmental risks. There's so many out there. We've heard about the lack of transparency, not enough data, not enough information to make such a critical decision. We need to have all that information. And that's why there's so much risk associated. From a financial perspective, first of all, macroeconomically. From a macroeconomic perspective, we're talking about billions of dollars being allocated to a project that we really don't know much about. And what is really going to be the benefit? When you do the cost-benefit analysis, what is really the benefit to you as the people, to you as the citizens in Maryland? Also, the other concern that I have is that, on a global perspective, look at the amount of sovereign wealth funds and the amount of international leverage that is on the United States. How much more billions of dollars, trillions of dollars the United States government have to go to other countries? And that's the position we're putting ourselves in, with these financial investments leveraged by a foreign country. Microeconomics, pivoting to that to consumers, you as consumers, the price point. We heard about the price point not being really in the reach of the average person. Just recently I was in Philadelphia for our leadership program. I commuted back and forth today from BWI to Philadelphia. And this transportation structure that we have right now with the rail system, my personal perspective as a consumer, someone can use that, we can definitely take the investments that we have and invest in the current systems that we do have to make it more efficient. And also save, really, the taxpayers, billions of dollars. And the last thing I want to mention is the social aspect. This is personal to me. We're talking about a country who wants to invest in the state of Maryland, and in my opinion, really has leverage over the state of Maryland. This is a country who, if you do the research, has committed many atrocities in the global warfare. Really, we want to have to be leveraged by a country who does not apologize for the sins of the war atrocities that they committed. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but as a student of global history, that's also another concern that I have. But we're going to continue to fight this together. Lincoln is a great community. You all have a winning record. Just recently up in North Lincoln, the community got together, North Lincoln Shipping Improvement Association, Preston, all the different communities working together. And they were able to stop a method of living from going up there. But it wasn't because of one person. It was because of the community, the elected officials, and partnerships being developed, and all working together to stop projects like that had adverse effects on communities. The takeaway from this tonight is to continue to work together, and with that, we'll be able to hopefully stop this project from coming in. Thank you very much.
What is my position on this particular issue? I oppose. Period. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, so I'm not going to go into great length as to why I oppose. But I will tell you that I am an attorney, and I look at this based on my core document, the supreme law of the land, the U.S. Constitution. The Fifth Amendment says that we, as the public, we will not lose our property except in certain conditions. Eminent domain, where there is going to be used for public use. Okay, maybe they made that check mark, but for the public benefit. So if we have groups like this getting together and saying we don't want it, it's not for our benefit. So then, of course, you ask yourself, for whose benefit is it? And is it constitutional? I'm not going to give you my legal opinion right now because none of you all have paid me tonight. But I will say that it is not for the public benefit. If the majority of the public is saying no. So that's the argument that they're going to have to present. How does this benefit us? used to take the MARC train. I used to work downtown, K Street, downtown DC. I took the MARC train. Love the MARC train. It's already here. Let's improve on it. I took the Metro. It's already here. Let's improve on it. We got the DW Parkway. It's already here. Let's improve on it. Let's work with what we have. Let's not tear down our homes. Let's keep our homes and improve what we have. So once again, like I said, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir on this. So if I can get an amen, that's okay too. But let me just tell you, I'm with you on this one. Sandy Barker. Thank you.
Mr. Smith, representing Congress of Sarbanes.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of Congressman Sarbanes. As everyone knows, Congress is in session. That's when he is. He sends his regrets. He's asking me to read a letter to you. It's to the Lincoln Michigan Improvement Association and the Citizens Against Medicare Steering Committee. I commend the committee for convening a citizen forum to receive input on the proposed high-speed superconductor magnetic levitation magnet rail. Nearly 3 years ago, the U.S. Department of Transportation awarded over $27 million to the state of Maryland to conduct studies on the construction of the proposed maglev that will connect Baltimore, Maryland to Washington, D.C. Currently, the Maryland Department of Transportation is preparing an environmental impact statement that aims to evaluate the impacts of this project on our communities. While this new technology is making pricing, as with many major transportation projects, it should be fully vetted for its economic, social, and environmental impacts. And maglev is one of many projects proposed in the Baltimore-Washington corridor, and their goal should be to determine which of these represent the best transportation and transit options, those that consider the health and livelihood of our communities and meet the needs of our local residents. I understand and share the concerns that the construction of a high-speed rail may be disruptive to residents, businesses, and wildlife in the project's proposed path. That is why it is critical that the local communities and stakeholders have the opportunity to provide feedback to the Maryland Department of Transportation as the process moves forward. Sincerely, John P. Sarbanes. And I just want you to know that we will continue to listen and hear and receive your feedback as well as this process moves forward. Thank you.
Thank you. David Lasher. David Lasher, I'm running for Congress against Mr. Sarbanes, and I have a background in infrastructure and transportation. Years ago, in the late 80s and early 90s, I was a capital staffer and studied infrastructure. I worked on infrastructure bills. More recently, in 2015 to 2016, I served on the Maryland Transportation Commission. I'm here listening and learning, but what I've heard, in combination with what I already know about these types of projects, I'm not sure that I need to listen anymore to give you an answer as to where I stand. I oppose this project. I oppose this project because, from what I learned in the past, these types of large-scale, point-to-point, mass transit rail projects, maglev, nice as they sound, they rarely, if ever, get the ridership they need to be economically viable. They almost always exceed their costs. They are boondoggles, and that's what I smell here. Moreover, for the corridor that we're talking about, Washington, Baltimore, maybe eventually stretching up to New York City, I don't see it underserved. We've heard numerous times from numerous speakers already this evening. We have Amtrak, we have Excel. What's a magnet does? I used to be back and forth between this area and New York City frequently. You can ride a regular train, regular Amtrak, from here up to New York City. Or you can ride Excel, the high-speed train, with a premium, sit in a little bit nicer seat. You know what the events. By the time these high-speed trains make all their stops, the difference in the overall trip is negligible. I think what's most concerning to me, though, is what we heard at the outset of this meeting, which is that it sounds like the process of reviewing and approving or disapproving the project has not been open and transparent on something that is highly expensive. It's going to have an impact on the environment, and it's going to be disruptive to communities. So I'm against the proposal. Thank you. Anyone? I hope not. The one thing I would ask, and for you all that actually read a statement, we would like to get a copy of it, if possible electronically, because we would like to post it on our various websites and community bulletin boards. So your position, Senator Sarbanes and Congressman, Senator Cardin and Congressman Sarbanes, thank you. See, I've been around long enough, I remember what it was Senator Sarbanes. Can be active. With that, we're doing great on time. I'd like to open it up for questions. Again, I want to reiterate the rules. Once you person speak at a time, you have a question, ask your question, get to the point. No pontificating. You start doing that, I will tell that very whack. We'll just cut it off and move on.
Again, I think this question is for sure. Regarding the environmental impact statement, maybe some environmental studies, are they done in an objective manner by a neutral third party? I want to understand that process, or is it paid for by the people invested in this? Is there any issues to the credibility of the study in that sense?
Our understanding is that the EIS study is being conducted by a contractor for MTA. ACOM has been doing it, David? Yes, so they are separate from the components. They are working for MTA and will do it independent. But our concern is that we're concerned that the boundary between the two is porous. Therefore, may call into question the study. But there is a separate independent contractor doing the EIS. That's what our understanding is.
The temperature at which this thing runs is at what, 4 Kelvin? That is cold. How is that kept, how's the helium kept secure and not released in the environment? And has there been any evidence of it being released into the environment and causing damage outside the area of the train?
It just so happens, as Dennis mentioned earlier, that we have representatives here from our Washington Railroad, including the senior engineer. If I remember that, would you be willing to answer that question?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Okay. The question was, in order for the superconductor magnet to operate, you're using liquid helium, which basically keeps the superconductors at 4 Kelvin, which is next to zero, absolute zero. The question was, has there been accidents, releases, et cetera, or would you anticipate if something like that would happen, what would the impact of that be to the surrounding area? Did I capture your question correctly?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Just so everybody understands, the super cooled magnets are mounted on the train itself. Guidelines and everything else on the other train, steel units on the train. And they don't even touch them for months at a time. So they're super cool. They just are months at a time. I'm not aware of any accidents. It's a question that certainly the EIS has to look at. That's one of the things, and we'll have to make a can they have farm fuel, water on the tax statement as well? All those kind of questions got answered as well. So it's a good question. We're making notes of everything that you guys are going to pass those on to the market.
Thank you. One of the things you say, if I remember correctly, helium is inert gas. So it doesn't react naturally with any other element. So if it is released in the air, especially in liquid form, we just get to a gaseous form and just.
I'm worried about asphyxiation.
I would like asphyxiation on the train, since it's actually on the train, or anyone in the area. Okay, so thank you very much for taking that down, and we look forward to your answer. You sure can.
This gives a good opportunity. That's an excellent question. What I would suggest you do is, we have two websites, stopthistrain.org and our Facebook page, it's SCMaglev. That has information on who to contact. You ought to submit your question to MTA as a question related to this, an issue related to this. Ask the question and seek an answer from them and ask them to evaluate it. While you do that, copy all of your legislative representatives, your elected officials, county, state, and federal on that question. Alert them that you've asked this question. And any other question. You know, part of the NEPA study is going to look at things, but they don't know everything. You live in this community, you know of different things. So if you have a question, you ask tonight, or when you go home, you think of another question, go on our webpage, find the point of contact at MPA, submit that question, because that's how the process works. In order to evaluate it, they need to know the question. So it's a very good question. I commend it for it.
And I would also suggest making sure you send a copy of your questions, whether it's to Dennis or myself, because we'll keep a calculation of them, so when we get a chance to look at the EIS, we'll look for those questions and see if they can
And I
answer.
can find that on Facebook.
Yes, it's on Facebook. It's,
I don't do Facebook, but I'll figure it
yeah,
out.
so, as well as the website, which is
StopThisTrain.org.
Stop this train. That works.
Got it right on your sign.
Ma'am, can we get your mic on, please?
There's the official EIS website as well, which is just your most direct connection to it.
Okay.
And every question has to be answered, so it's your best way to get every concern you have, every question you have is a better document when everything gets addressed, so please do.
And one of the things to be fair here is BWR has a pretty decent website. So they talk a lot about the project and what the planning is, etc. And I would encourage you all to take a look at their website and see what they're saying. Okay, so you just don't get kind of one side of this argument. We think we have a pretty strong argument, but you know, let's be fair. Let's give them a another question for candidates, delegates, or here we go. Yeah, one of the things about when you ask a question there, we don't hear it up here.
That's fine. Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, so in the budgeted costs, are they allowing financing to re-support the families that are in limbo, that are losing revenue in their homes for this construction project? Because it's not going to make people want to move to Linden. Linden's already started with infrastructure issues that haven't been addressed in years. We've had falling school ratings and stuff like that. Bringing this project to this community is just another smack in the face of this community. This is not going to help it. And the construction project itself is going to take years to complete. So that work has disrupted our whole neighborhood over years. It's not just a 5-minute project. This is a multi-year project. The people that are supporting this isn't happening in their backyard. This isn't happening in Suburban Park. This hasn't happened in Annapolis. This is not happening to people behind me that they don't live in this neighborhood. This impacts all of us. And the people are delusional to think that this is going to benefit Linden in any way.
We hope that you start that one to our organization.
feedback. Is that better? Okay. I'm moving to Lincoln, and my fiance has lived here 30 years, and it is basically going to go under our house. So as a person who's moving to this area, it's kind of sad because I hear the stories and he tells me how the neighborhood's going to change. And we have the light rails, we have BWI Airport, we have Casella, we have a lot of different transportation opportunities. But this particular situation is going to hurt, like he said, the families who've lived and grown up here many generations. It isn't going to help us. We're not going to use this facility.
If you're willing to answer, BWR, a technical question for BWR.
I'm sorry, I just want answers to Bill's question of whether that is any financing for any homes that may be destroyed or anything that's happening in residents that may be displaced as a result of the project.
Yeah, his question was never answered, not really.
One of the key things in getting a licensing, when purchasing licensing for the Baltimore, Washington, and Annapolis Railroad was eminent domain. They hold it, which means they can use it if they're forced to. Okay. Our understanding, I want to try to make it again.
There's this point, I get the eminent domain, there is this take on property, maybe put in a skate patch, or maybe a run line in my house. I get it. What I don't get is my house is valued at a certain point right now. When that value comes in, that value is going to drop. So who's compensating me for my loss of revenue? I bought them in London for a reason. Very nice neighborhood, high house value, something that good families and community. With the low price values of these homes, it's not going to bring nice people to the community. It's going to be people that can't afford to live somewhere nice, so they're going to want to move into London now and it's going to continue to go down. So I want to know how they're going to protect the citizens of London. They're going to make money, but I'm not going to make any more money out of this. They're not going to make any more money out of this. So if you're going to allocate funds to this project, and you're going to disrupt this neighborhood, then you better put money away to finance us for our loss of revenue for our homes, because no one's going to live here that's currently living here now. And we're all going to be trying for exit strategies and how we can sell our house before this thing starts, because we know we're going to lose money. And once it gets out of the papers and the sun and everybody else writes about it, that it's going through Lincoln, I guarantee there's not going to be a whole line of people wanting to come to Lincoln to live.
I think you're correct. And one of the key pieces of eminent domain is the current market value of your home. Well, when the word gets out, this is going to happen, be disruptive. What's the current value of your home? The other factor I would put in is because we do have multiple generation families living here. We have some of the railroads are 5 generations. If you want to run, we still have descendants of the London and Shipley families, which date back to the 1600s, still living here. Families, I did one of them. My wife is 2nd generation. We bought a home. We pay a fair amount of money for it. We have over-invested in that home and have 6 homes in just my immediate park area, where we put in various additions and renovations with the idea of we retire and literally die. We will not be compensated for that. We will take losses. We have homes that people have already retired in that represent a significant portion. If that home is not taken, they will take a serious financial hit. Now, the plan is, and again, we want to try to get there, is to tunnel under the Lincoln. However, there are going to be service facilities that need to be built every 3 or 4 miles. Okay? There are ventilation facilities. They will probably, and these also will probably incorporate from other means with the other presentations, it's state facilities. So what's the footprint of that facility? You also are going to need a road to get to that facility. That's going to take time. You also have 3 to 4 power substations. the minimum is 1.5 acres. Well, where are they going to go? You're going to have roads that go into their services. What land is that going to be? You're going to cross the 85 tension line. This is power system. Going to left and right now, and look under the high tension lines. How many roads are going to be the no. So, I mean, this has more than this is, you know, a service facility. There's all these other pieces that have to be built. All of it takes land. And the whole thing about it is the current market value of the road. Now, again, they're talking about tunnel, but you got to put these every 3 or 4 miles. You got a surface facility of some kind that's going to be built. Hoping that when the EIS comes out, there'll be more information on that, so we have a better idea of where they're going to be located and the kind of displacement and disruption it's going to be to our community. When you get down into Prince George's County, for instance, neighborhood, when they go above ground, I think Montrose right now is looking at the current line has approximately 150 homes that could be demolished. Now, that's not the final road. There may be some adjustments, but the current, just that one piece is 150 homes. Okay. Another question for the candidates. Okay.
She did that long, I forgot my question. Come back to me.
Well, if you think they're just wave your hand, we'll try to answer the one word. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Steve from Laurel, Maryland. Quick question. I've heard that in the past, 3 to 4 miles for an escape patch. I'm 67 years old, I'm in excellent shape. I can go on a 6 to 8 mile hike. 2 weeks ago, I was on a 3 mile hike underground, basically spewing, but I'm not the normal person. If you had an accident, I can't see how normal people would be going more than 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 feet. It seems to me every 3 to 4 miles is too far apart. How are you getting people who are injured in an accident, or even not injured, but not in as good a shape as I am, to get out of a facility that had a problem on the ground?
I think that's a very good question, and one of the ones that we're looking to see what the EIS has to say. Does that make sense there? Any more questions? Have you remembered the question?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was chit-chatting.
Okay.
So my question is, if, I'm loud enough, they can hear me.
Up there is so difficult.
Okay, so my question is, if the project actually goes through, or, I'm sorry, if the federal government finally gives the funding to say, go ahead with the project, if everyone in the community is saying no, can they still go with it? And I mean every single person.
Yes.
Well, that is...
Let me make it very clear. This is a private funded organization with investors. Though, by other presentations, we talk about going for federal funding. There's really we don't have a very good clue of what percentage of the funding to build this is going to be federal tax dollars. Okay? There's a lot of money that's invested privately to take it this far. The EIS study was the first major chunk of money from the federal government, which was $7.8 million, if I remember, to basically investigate, is it feasible, and will it, what kind of challenges would they have to put this system in, and where's the best route, and look at the financial, economic factors of building and running this system. Okay. Again, we don't know how much federal dollars, but it's our position that we don't think this is going to generate sufficient revenues that it's not going to require federal money. We have Sue, I heard you. Sue, behind you, young man. David,
I'm just curious. I guess, like, right now, like, as a maglev, states, like, I guess there's a lot of talk about Maryland getting Fed money, but, I mean, would New York have to be like, oh yes, we agreed to the Fed money, and then the maglev could possibly go to New York, or, I guess I'm just curious.
When you listen to Mr. Ryan, Wayne Rogers, CEO, talk about the maglev, he touts the fact that you can get to New York in an hour. They're going to New York. They're picking the segment between Baltimore and Washington. In our estimation, they picked it thinking it would be the least resistant segment. But once they have that, they'll use that to leverage the approval further north. To go north from Baltimore to New York, they're going to have to go through a similar BIS process, look at it, the impacts and what have you. But believe me, if they get approval for the first link, it's probably a done deal that they'll go to New York. If they get funding to do it, we have heard $10 to $12 billion to build this. That's the number that's been floating around since they went to the PSC. It's about a 5-year-old number. Public Service Commission, they're the ones that make the determination of the license. So that's a 5-year-old number. We actually have people who looked at similar projects like this in our group, and we believe that the number to go from Baltimore to Washington, given it's 75% underground now, will probably approach $30 billion. So it's a significant one. Going back to the previous question, they need approval. The record of decision needs to give approval for them to go forward. All that does is give federal government permission for them to move forward. The ball then goes into their court to arrange funding to get investors and get banks and others that will support their venture in order to move forward. So, there's two different steps here. But without the regulators, the FRA, Federal Railroad Administration, makes a determination and says no, they can't go further. If they say yes, then it's up to them to arrange the financing and figure out how to do it, figure out what the real costs are. If you look at high-speed rail in California and other places, major projects, the big in Boston, these mega projects, billion-plus projects, tend to have large cost overruns once they get started. And the reason for that is that the proponents oversell the economic benefit and grossly underestimate the true cost of the project. And then you get the regulators and the elected officials who are ill-prepared to make a determination, an informed decision when they give their approval. And then you go down a way that if you look at what's going on in California, they've already had a doubling, a tripling of the original $1 billion plus cost of their project, and they're still building it in order to do it. So, but that goes to clarify your question a little bit.
David here, I'm listening to the conversation, I'm listening to the discussion of private property rights, homeowners, I'm listening about eminent domain, I'm hearing about big corporate funded kind of projects that may or may not have benefit to the community. And what I wanted to do was recommend that everybody watch a movie. And there's a movie called Little Pink House. Little Pink House. It was released about a year ago. It is about exactly these issues. And it is about the importance of the community like the Lord stepped forward, if that makes sense. Little Pink House.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Little Pink House.
Little Pink House. Little
Susan, go ahead.
This may have been mentioned, but I want to spell it a different way. We all know this is going to cost us billions of dollars to make. We all know that homeowners are going to be displaced, whether they want to be or whether they're going to lose money and sell their homes or whether they have to move. But is there a budget in place 30 or 40 years where this infrastructure needs to be repaired? Is that something that's being mentioned? Families that have to give up so much that the government's going to have to spend so much money to maintain this new mode of transportation. Is that budget being put to everything that's being mentioned tonight?
That is a very good question. Notice what I mentioned there.
big portion of this is going to be underground. And so how is that going to affect people that are on wells or water that we have in the state of Maryland that is underground aquifers that we have? How is that going to impact that?
Again, a very good question, and we're looking to the EIS to see what the answer is going to be, because that question has been raised. One of the areas that they're digging through in Anne Arundel County is a large aquifer that we actually rely on our drinking water from. So again, that's a very good question.
A couple questions. I don't expect to have an answer, but there's much mention about health effects. I know that you mentioned one, but there's a lot of things that we as a country and developers do that affects us 10 years down the road. We don't see what the potential impacts are. So that's one of my concerns is, you know, this isn't a tested product that's been out there for long enough to know, oh wait, we should never have done this. So that's the one question I have. And then the other question I have is when they tunnel, I don't expect that they're going to be able to tunnel and not damage nearby properties. So they're going to purchase the homes that they will take out. What about the homes that are around it when they're boring through there and then suddenly everything's getting displaced, you know, and doing damage to everybody's homes? Is there a fund that's going to pay for that type of damage?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer. However, I can say that the Japanese have actually been running the SCMaglev, this technology, for a number of years and have not reported any health issues related as a result of the SCMaglev and being exposed to high lead-added fields or whatever. But then again, you're not going to be, quote unquote, that close to it, okay? When you ride, if I understand it, the technology correctly, the train itself is relatively shielded, or is shielded from the magnetic field, okay? So they have not reported any, Connie and company, if I'm correct, they have not reported any health issues associated with the actual technology. I'm sorry?
There is testing for all that, which the EIS will.
Yes, and we're expecting to see all of that in the EIS.
And then damage to homes, any answer on that?
That is a good question. Again, if you have questions like those that we don't know the answers to, it's great to go ahead and send them in, and make sure that we get a copy of it, because then we will look for that in the EIS to see if it's been addressed. And make sure also to copy the elected officials, because that's something they should be aware of too. As people are starting to migrate out, I wanted to leave a time for you all to actually meet one-on-one or small group with candidates. Why don't we get ready to close it down? Okay, Susie, would you like to finish?
Okay, I'm not going to walk up on stage. Yeah, as he said, several candidates and incumbents in the leadership of CATS will stay following the meeting for one-on-one conversations if you'd like to have them. And we want to thank all of you for attending. And for more information on the SCMaglev, you go to stopthistrain.org. And you can follow on their Facebook pages or Citizens Against the SCMaglev as well. So we're going to close the meeting now, and we've reserved the auditorium until 10, but I don't expect to stay here till then. So feel free to come and talk with us, and thank you again.
And for anyone that is Bill Boone is sitting out in the big one. You tell them what your address is. He has GIS software that will tell you the distance of your home from one of the proposed schools.
And he also has the signs back here, there's stopthistrain.org if you'd like one.
If you'd like one, you can ask for $5 across the river. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out, and please,